Welcome to this episode of Living in Tucson, your Tucson real estate connection. And in this episode, I'm going to go over the Tucson Housing Market Report for December 2021. Hot off the press, the numbers are out. The Tucson housing market finished super strong in December. I'm going to go over the numbers, and then I'm also going to talk about 2022 in terms of what I think is going to happen. So stay tuned for the Tucson Housing Market Report, December 2021. Hello, Tyler Ford here, Tucson, Arizona, eXp Realty, and welcome to this episode. In this episode, I'm going to be going over the December 2021 Tucson Housing Market Report. Hot off the press, the numbers are out. The Tucson housing market closed super strong into the year. Winter visitors as temperatures cool off. It's definitely the buying season for Tucson as we head into the winter and spring. Inventory levels are super low, so it's definitely still a seller's market. So I'm going to go over the numbers, and then at the end of the video, I'm going to talk a little bit about what I think is going to happen in 2022. So hope you enjoy this episode of the Tucson Housing Market Report, December 2021. The first number I want to go over is what we call percentage of list, and that is when somebody lists a home in the MLS, what percentage of the list price are sellers getting? And in a normal market, the percentage of list is anywhere from 92 to 97%, meaning if somebody got 97% of percentage of list, if they listed their home for 100,000, they're getting 97,000. So that's what we call percentage of list. So December 2021, the percentage of list for single family homes was 99.6%. And for the last 6 months, we've been in a trend where the percentage of list has been over 100%. So the last couple of months, the percentage of list is slightly below 100%. So for townhomes and condos, the percentage of list was 100.6%. So it's still over 100%. And there's definitely a squeeze, which I'm going to talk about on townhomes and condos as far as inventory. There's just not a lot of inventory. So I anticipate the percentage of list to maintain being higher when it comes to townhomes and condos, just because inventory levels are super low for townhomes and condos, which I'm going to talk about further on in this video. The next number I want to talk about is what we call months supply of inventory, and that is if no other homes were listed in the MLS today, how long would it take for all the inventory to be sold off? And how you arrive at that number is you take a look at the previous month's numbers in terms of how much inventory there is, and then how many homes sold, and you divide the homes sold into the inventory, and you get what is called months supply of inventory. So for December 2021, months supply of inventory for single family homes was 1 month, meaning 30 days. In 30 days, if no other homes hit the MLS today, all the homes in the MLS will be sold off. For townhomes and condos, months supply of inventory was 0.6. And that is about 18 days. So if no other townhomes or condos hit the market, all the townhomes and condos would be sold off in 18 days, which is kind of hard to believe. So that is month supply of inventory for December 2021. Now let's go over what we call days on market. And that is from the time somebody lists a home in the MLS until the time that it goes under contract, not actually closed and sold. That is what we call days on market. And in a normal, healthy market, days on market is going to be like in the high 30s to mid 40s in terms of days on market. And we're well below what it normally is in a normal neutral market. So days on market for single family homes was 24 days, which is up slightly from the previous month. So 24 days from the time that a home's listed in the MLS to the time that it goes under contract. The average is 24 days as of December 2021. For townhomes and condos, the average days on market was 23 days, which is up slightly from the previous month, but still below the average of what it normally is in a neutral market. So that's days on market, December 2021. The next number is one that a lot of people like to talk about, and that is what are home values doing in Tucson. So I'm going to go over the average sales price for single family homes and townhomes and condos. And over the last couple years since COVID hit, inventory levels have dropped, demand's gone up. Economics 101, anytime you have more demand than you do supply, it's going to put upward pressure on prices. And that's definitely what we've seen over the last couple years, double-digit appreciation rates, which is unheard of. Normally, homes are appreciating anywhere from 6 to 8%, maybe 10% on a good year. So last couple years, prices have gotten out of hand here in Tucson and all over the country. So the average sales price for single-family homes in Tucson for December 2021 was $425,073, which is up year over year 22.9%. So year over year, home values have gone up 22.9% in Tucson. So townhomes and condos, what have they done? What did they do in December 2021? The average sales price for townhomes and condos was $241,692, which is a year over year appreciation rate of 27.4%. It's kind of crazy, but townhomes and condos, kind of a hot ticket item right now. You know, they're less expensive. As baby boomers are retiring, they're looking for smaller, more manageable properties, and townhomes and condos, I'm going to go over the numbers in terms of inventory, are very competitive, and as you can see from the number, have appreciated year over year 27.4%. So that's what's going on as far as home values in Tucson, Arizona, December 2021. This next number is my favorite number. It's what are inventory levels doing in Tucson? And to me, this is the leading indicator. It's the one that I look at on a daily basis. And again, it's economics 101, supply and demand. If there's low inventory, high demand, prices are going to go up. If there's a ton of inventory, less demand, there's going to be downward pressure on prices. And if you click below, I've got the Tucson Housing Market Meter, so you can kind of see what Tucson looks like from a seller's market, a buyer's market, or a neutral market. Right up above, there's a link to go over to that video. So inventory levels super low. In a normal market, inventory levels in Tucson need to be upwards to the high 2,000s to low to mid 3,000s to be more in a neutral market. And again, since COVID hit, that trend has been well below that number. They're up slightly from the lows that we had back in May, June of 2021. So inventory levels have ticked up slightly, but we're still super low. So for single family homes in Tucson, there were, in the MLS in Tucson and all of Tucson, there were 1,231 active single family homes listed in the MLS. And for townhomes and condos, and this is what I've been talking about, inventory levels are super low. This is as low as they've been. There's only 133 active townhomes and condos listed in the MLS. So again, townhomes and condos, a hot ticket item, just not a lot of inventory to choose from. And as long as this trend stays in terms of lower inventory levels, we're going to continue to have upward pressure on home prices here in Tucson, Arizona. So people are always asking me what I think is going to go on here in the Tucson housing market, and also the housing market in general. And, you know, I wish I had that crystal ball to foresee what's going to happen. But all you can do is make some educated guesses based on the numbers. But, you know, my prediction for 2022, you know, the one thing to keep an eye on is inventory levels in Tucson and also across the country. If you start to see inventory levels tick up, then that is a good indicator, leading indicator, that the market's starting to change. So as there's upward pressure on interest rates as far as mortgages, that could actually slow down the market and cause inventory levels to go up. And if that happens, you know, we're going to go back to more of a neutral market or possibly even a seller's market. So in terms of a prediction, you know, again, it's hard to tell, but all you can do is look at some leading key indicators to help you with that. So, you know, is it a good time to buy? You know, you never never know. I mean, I've been saying this for the last year that I thought the market was going to slow down, and year over year appreciation is well over, 20%. So you've got to make that decision. The one thing that I can say is that if you're buying on an FHA or a VA where you're not putting hardly any money down, I would encourage you to save more money and work towards putting 20% down to avoid mortgage insurance, and then also having enough money to weather a storm should this market turn, so you're not leveraged and stressed out, because at the end of the day, home ownership can be a liability if you do it the wrong way. So I would just encourage you to stay within your budget and do it the smart way, and not overpay for properties. So again, wish I had that crystal ball, but each and every month I'm going to do the Tucson housing market, where you can stay up to date as to what's going on here in the Tucson housing. But I'm curious as to what your prediction is. Go ahead and comment below, and love your thoughts in terms of what's going to go on here in the Tucson housing market. Keep in mind, we've got a 16-foot box moving truck, so if you use us to buy or sell a home, you're more than welcome to use our truck. And even after the fact down the road, if you need to move appliances, furniture, pick something up at Home Depot or Lowe's, you're more than welcome to use our 16-foot box moving truck. I hope you like this episode in regards to the Tucson Housing Market Report for December 2021. To get the full report, there's a lot more really good information. You can scroll down into the scroll notes there, and there's a link over to my website where you can get the full report. So I just went over some of the main numbers that I like to cover, but to get a more in-depth look at the Tucson Housing Market Report, you can scroll on down and click on my blog there. But if you like this video, do me a huge favor. Give me an internet high five by liking it. If you have any questions or comments, I'd love to get your comments below. And for more awesome videos about living in Tucson, your Tucson real estate connection, you can go ahead and subscribe to the channel. In the meantime, make it a great day.